Okay, now we're back. I'll give everybody a minute to jump back on. Sorry about that. You forgot something.
Probably lower the volume so it doesn't play.
Lower your volume?
Yeah.
Yeah, you should keep yours on mute.
I just muted mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I just heard Lewis for a second, but it wasn't him. It was here.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm going to share this.
Your haircut looks great, Alice. On camera.
Yeah, that's look great.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm trying to find a good angle right now. I have my webcam up and stuff.
Okay, good. All right, we're good. All right. So
Okay, nice.
it's good. Yeah. So where were we? We got a few minutes for these people to come back on. Contractor's calling me. He's worried that I'm not going to be here tomorrow. Okay.
I guess we'll have to share it again.
Yeah, I just shared it. Okay.
Sharing it to all my
Okay. So like we were saying earlier, the reason we're making this video today is to find out the best ways to do some free marketing, best ways to spend some money on marketing without overpaying. And we're going to go ahead and dive into that right away. So if I was a new agent today, like I was explaining before, what would I do a lot of is probably just doing as much activities as possible that don't require spending a single dime. So let's go ahead and start with the first idea. First idea that I would tell you guys is to utilize all the free websites that you can use to get leads. So when I have new agents come in, they have this business plan events that they can add to their calendar, which you can see here on our screen. Let me just make this a little bit bigger for those who can't probably see this. Right. So for marketing, you'd want to use YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Right. We're going to get into some of these a little bit deeper. Why? How can you use these for free? So first of all, let's just say we have a bunch of listings in the office, right? Like hundreds of listings, right? We take the best ones that are performing the best. And who spelled watch like that? Shame on them. So what I would do is I take the best listings in the office, and I would then go and create YouTube videos for them, slideshows. If you don't have a video, just create a slideshow. Even if they didn't do a virtual walkthrough, just grab a slideshow. You can create it on on Google real easily. I think it's on Google Photos. You can do a slideshow and then put it on YouTube. The reason why is because when people start Googling that address, your video is going to come up before a lot of other websites because it holds a lot of SEO strength, a lot of SEO power. So that was one way that I used to get leads when I was first starting off as an agent and I started doing really serious marketing. I would do that. It wouldn't cost me a penny, and it worked really well. Then obviously with Facebook, you guys know that Facebook is important, but some agents don't even have a business page. So if you're going to start doing Facebook marketing, at least set up your business page and make it look actually presentable. Get a nice banner, get reviews from people. Start to interact with people so they come back and visit your page. Start sharing other people's content. If you don't have your own, start thinking about creating content and not just making posts saying today I feel happy or today I saw a house. Actually put videos, put pictures. They give you a lot more engagement. Instagram is starting to become a really huge part of social media. It's probably one day take over Facebook's first place position. Because the younger generation, they seem to be using more of the Instagram than Facebook. So as the older demographic starts to die off, then the newer systems start to take their place. So I would start doing a lot of Instagram advertising if I were an agent right now. And it's not as detailed as Facebook is, but we'll talk about that a little bit in the future. Now, web presence. Make sure that all your accounts are 100% complete, like your Zillow, your Realtor.com, your Julia, your LinkedIn, all these websites. Make sure you have all your information on there, and then go on these websites and go on the forums and start answering some questions. Answer people's questions when they don't know about financing or they don't know what parts of New Jersey are good. There's a lot of things you could do there. Next thing you could do is you could create ads on Craigslist for free. And you can get the phone to ring a lot if you start to use some of the office's inventory. And as long as the listing is in your office, you can ask the broker for permission and mention it to the agent too. The agent should be okay with that. I wouldn't be mad if somebody wanted to market my property. I'd be very happy. So get the listings from the office. Start putting them on Craigslist, putting them on Facebook Marketplace. Believe it or not, Facebook Marketplace is a really good place to put properties. I even had an agent that used Let Go, the app where you can sell like
Offer up.
Yeah.
5 miles.
exactly. There's a lot of these little apps that you can use where you can get people to start communicating with you about buying or selling homes. Now, granted, free leads a lot of times is going to lead nowhere, and sometimes paid leads lead nowhere. So don't just put an ad out and say, well, I got a bunch of tire kickers or I got a bunch of wholesalers calling me. Yes, that's going to happen, but eventually you'll get someone who's serious. I actually met one of my best clients on Facebook. I'm sorry, on Craigslist. Many years back, I put an ad out for a condo in Hoboken, and he bought it, and he's a really good client. I also met a guy that buys in Bergen County that way. So you'll find a lot of people by using these systems. Obviously, you'll get the bad, but you'll also get the good. Okay, so those are some of the free ways that you guys can start getting some business, right? And this video is not meant to teach you guys how to go in and use each one of these, websites, but it's just to give you guys some ideas of where you can go and where you can start spending some time if you don't have a budget. Now, the other thing you could do, free marketing, would be what? What do you guys give me an idea what you guys think another thing you could do for free marketing?
Free, more like 100% free.
Yeah, it's just free marketing. What do you guys think you could do for marketing?
Door knocking.
Door knocking is a good way to get free leads, obviously, but you have to put some legwork. So it's not so passive. You understand? Marketing is more passive. So marketing you do once, and it works for you for the next 7 days, or works for you the next 30 days. So I mean, obviously that would be a nice way to try to do it, but door knocking is more like not so passive, but it's more like an active way of marketing yourself. So yeah, I mean, that's a good way to do it. When you're an agent with no budget, go door knocking for sure. Now, who would you door knock? Would you pick a demographic, or would you just door knock everyone in your neighborhood, around the office, or anywhere? Is there a wrong or right way?
There's not a wrong way. Like,
There's no
you
wrong
can
way,
just take open houses. I got a lot of leads.
Open houses are incredible. That's a good way of doing marketing yourself. Yeah. Now, when you go door knocking, the biggest mistake that most agents make in the beginning is that they go with just their business cards, right? And the worst thing is for a homeowner to show up with a business card crammed in their door. It looks so unprofessional, extremely unprofessional. So if you're going to be a door knocker and you think that that's a good way for you to start doing your business, what I would do is I would probably, this is not free, but I would obviously invest in some door hangers, because that looks a lot better than cramming your card in the door. And your door hanger could be very creative. You could make the door hanger be like a coupon we could rip off and say, like, free CMA or 1% off your listing within the next 6 months or something like that. It would be a good way for you to do it, but that's not free.
Is it illegal if I do like door hanging in a distressed property? Is it illegal?
Illegal?
No, it's illegal to put
Is it legal?
save your house for.
No, it's not illegal to leave anything on someone's door
Just
doorknob.
don't put it in the mailbox.
Yeah.
You can't put
You just can't put anything in anyone's mailbox. So just be careful with that. Yeah, that'll get you in trouble. So yeah, that's a good way of doing it. Now, the other way, guys, that you guys can get some free marketing is, what if you guys just took all the emails out of your database and just put them into a mass email on Google? You could do 50 a day. There's other apps you can use that you could do probably maybe a couple hundred a day. So getting all your email contacts and emailing them a hot property, or emailing them the statistics for owning versus renting, things like that. You can get a lot of freebies that way too. So that's a good way for you guys to start putting. Carlos is watching us from the West Coast. He said he probably just woke up. So yeah, I mean, using the data that's right in your phone book is a great way to you guys start leveraging that as well. Okay, so very simple to use. Now, also giving away your business cards, right? You guys should have business cards. As a new agent, giving away your business cards is probably one of the best things to do. People are really uncomfortable with doing that sometimes because they think they're being too pushy or salesy, and it's okay. When you're doing this, you're going to eliminate a lot of people who aren't nice anyway. So imagine if you stood outside of Home Depot or outside of Whole Foods or somewhere, and just handed out a business card to people and said, hey, listen, I'm not sure if you ever thought of buying or selling. Here's my business card just in case you ever do. People are not going to curse you out. They're going to say, okay, thank you, or no, thank you, I'm not interested. But I don't think anyone is ever going to be rude to you about it. But if they are, so well. Oh well. They've moved along. You don't work with them. You only work with the nice people. And someone's going to really appreciate the fact that you're standing outside of a Home Depot or a Whole Foods, because they're like, oh, this person's a hustler. I'd like to work with them because they're working hard. So maybe you remind them of themselves. Maybe if they're in sales, who knows, right? Anything's possible. But I'll tell you one thing: it's guaranteed to not get any business if you just stay put in one place and you don't go anywhere. Okay, so that's a good way of doing your free marketing. There's a lot of free marketing ideas out there that you can do. I'm not sure if anyone watching has any ideas on how to do any free marketing. For the most part, you don't have to do a little bit of everything. You can just focus on one thing a day. Like I've had agents that just do Craigslist ads once a day, and they had plenty of business, plenty of business. The problem is that most people think, oh my God, there's so many different ways of doing it. I'm going to do this one day, this another day, and they'd never be consistent with anything. And then that doesn't seem to work as much as if you're just consistent with one way. If that's your method, maybe one or two ways, depending on what your schedule allows. All right, so that's one way of doing it. Not one way, that's a whole bunch of ways of doing your free marketing. Now, the other ways of marketing that we're going to talk about today are going to be paid marketing, right? Now, if you want to be the agent for a certain area, you want to farm an area, this is a good way of initially door knocking, so it would be free, right? So let's just say we pick an area. Usually when you pick an area, you want to pick a mail carrier route for a couple of different reasons, because first, you're going to save a lot of money with postage if you decide to send postcards out, because you can send every door direct mail, which is like half the price almost of what you would normally spend on regular mail. Then you're going to also be able to door knock those people because they're all within the same vicinity. So you can send them postcards, you can door knock them as well, and then you can also run a very inexpensive Facebook campaign for just that town, because you're door knocking just that one little area within the town. So imagine they're going to see your postcards, they're going to see you get your phone calls, they're going to see you when you door knock, they're going to see you on Facebook, they're going to be like, oh my God, is this guy running for mayor? Like I see him everywhere. This girl, she's everywhere. So they're going to feel a lot more comfortable with you when you show up to the house when it's time to list your home, because you're going to be almost like the local celebrity, and they're going to be like, oh, I know you, I know everything about you, I've seen your video, I've seen this, I've seen that. So it's a good way to start getting your foot in the door. Now, they call it a farm exactly because of the way it sounds. Like a farmer has to plant their crops and let them grow and water them and nurture them, and then after a while, if everything goes well, you'll start to harvest, right? This is the same thing with real estate. Only after 6 months of nurturing a farm and consistently nurturing a farm will you start to see leads and buyers and sellers from that neighborhood. Once you start getting them, it's going to trickle, because one sign goes on the lawn, then you do an open house day, and you meet the neighbors, and then you do another sign on another lawn, and before you know, people are driving by and seeing nothing but your signs, and then your sphere starts to grow and grow and grow. So this is the way that a new agent, if they want to be a traditional agent that works in a certain neighborhood, this is the way you guys should probably do it. Now, there's other ways of doing it as well. Like if you want to work a certain demographic, you can always contact those same people over and over and over again. So consistency is what's going to make you really succeed. So there's a saying that I had up on the wall last week. It said the riches are in the niches, which means that if you focus in on one demographic or on one way of doing business instead of being a little bit all over the place, you're going to do much better. And you're going to find that there are going to be people looking for you after a while. Same thing goes with the bad business. I remember a long time ago when there were bad mortgages going around. Like if you're a loan officer that did a bad loan, like a really bad loan for a person who shouldn't have gotten a loan, you would be branded as that guy who will do any loan. And that's the only business they would start getting. So it's the same thing goes with business today. Like if you want to be known for just doing like luxury, then you just do luxury. If you want to know for just doing Scotch Plains, then you just do Scotch Plains, and before you know it, you'll be the person that's officially known for that. All right, so let's go into our first thing that we're going to talk about today, which is EDDM. For some of you who have never used it before, it's a United States Postal Service.com. They have a tool called the EDDM mapping tool. I'll let you guys see here. I'm not sure if you can see so. The EDDM mapping tool, this stands for Every Door Direct Mail. I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. You click here. You can see what? Okay, you see it there? When you click here, what you're going to do is it's going to take you to this site where you can see any zip code, any state, any in the country. So we're going to go ahead and type in 07076. Now look at this. And we're going to see the map of Scotch Plains. Let's see if I can zoom in on this anymore. Okay, so as I hover over this map, I'm going to see where we're located right now, which is this red indicator. We're going to see that there's different mail carrier routes all around us. And once you hover over them, you're going to see how many residential addresses there are, how many business addresses there are. Right here at the top, it'll tell you. So let's just say we pick this one here. It has 375 residential and 5 business. If I wanted to work this location, I can just hover over it and see what the mail carrier route is. The mail carrier route is right on the header where it says route. It'll show you what the zip code is. It's right here. The zip code is 07076, but then the mail carrier route is C081. So what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to use that data and take it over to my tax records. Which you're going to see here in 1 second. Thought this was open already. Okay. Who remembers the code? C018, was it? Come on, guys, you're being quizzed on this.
Wait, what's that?
C081. I got this last year.
What is
I thought you were gonna ask for the zip code. I was
Yeah.
about to say,
Yeah.
I don't know.
C081. Okay. So then what we do is we take that carrier route, we plug it right here into our tax records. I'm not going to go into detail right now on this video how I was able to pull up a carrier route. You got to play around with the attributes here at the bottom, but it's very simply done. If anyone wants more instructions on how to do that, please send me a private message and I'll send you a video where we did this in the past. Now, we also have to go down here to where it says city because, believe it or not, these mail carrier routes, they're shared amongst other states in the country. So we will go here and put in Scotch Plains. And I would go ahead and search. And I'd find all the records that I need right here. As you can see, all these records. Okay, so now you might be thinking to yourself, okay, well, you got a bunch of addresses. What do you do with these addresses? Now, once you have these addresses, it's very simple. All you would have to do at this point is just export the data. Once the data is exported with the property's city, zip code, the address, the owner's name, and the state, we can then send away for data scrubbing. So we can get the phone numbers for all these addresses. So then we'll come back with 375 records with 3 phone numbers apiece. For this whole neighborhood. So now if you really want to take over this part of Scotch Plains, you can literally call every single house in this area, which is what we're actually going to start doing pretty soon.
They
just
charge.
I'm sorry?
It's a charge for them.
Yeah. So if you send away for phone numbers, the way we get charged here at Culture State when we send away for it, it's 26 cents per household. So each household gives you 3 phone numbers. So if you wanted to be the man in Moore Hills, you can get a mail carrier route number, and we could pick a certain location, and then you could call literally every house on that whole carrier route, and before you know it, you could take over that carrier route. Once you take over that carrier route, then you move over into the next carrier route, then you start expanding from there. Understand? You can send postcards much cheaper because it's to everyone in that block, it's that neighborhood. What we do sometimes here is we use this when we do open houses. So let's just say we're going to do an open house over here in this section. We'll get the phone numbers for everyone on this mail carrier route, and we'll call everybody before the open house, and we'll invite them to the open house. So, that saves you a lot of time from, walking the whole neighborhood. Instead of doing that, you could just call everyone, and then the day of, just walk that block and just introduce yourself to the people on that block and invite them, personally to come to that open house. So that's a good way of doing it. This is obviously going to cost you a little bit of money, but getting phone numbers for your farm are invaluable. It's invaluable to get that information. So really good way of spending your money on marketing. So the other reason why we're pulling it up is because we want marketing to work for us too. So believe it or not, if we go ahead and send postcards out to these people using EDDM or using this data, send it through VistaPrint, get a discount on it, whatever, it's going to be at a lesser rate. But the good thing about it is if you send them out postcards, and you send out postcards once a month, you want to send out these postcards with something of value, such as like what the market's doing in their neighborhood, something for them to really care about. What's going to happen is that postcard may sit on their counter for a year. And then in a year when they're ready to sell, they might call you. So that's what's beautiful about marketing is that you can do marketing once today and it could pay off 6 months from now. It could pay off a year from now. It could pay off years from now. Who knows? Some people hold on to things forever. So get in the habit of, if you're going to start spending money on yourself, be, how would I say, be methodical about it. Just don't do a little bit of everything. If postcards are going to be a thing, then do postcards. If farming a neighborhood is going to be a thing, then you need to hit them from different angles. You're going to do postcards, the phone calls, the door knockings, the Facebook. So that's the way you're going to approach it, and that's the way you're going to get the most bang for your buck. Okay? So
you suggest doing that for 6 months?
6 months
Stick to
minimum.
one thing.
Yeah, all the real estate trainers say that don't expect anything from your farm for 6 months. But once you start getting stuff from your farm, it's like it goes nuts. It goes nuts. Yeah, they just start to recognize you as like the only person in that area. So definitely work that farm and make sure they know you very well. Okay. Yeah. So that would be the first thing you would do with EDDM, postcards, and then the phone calls. Now, next thing I want to talk to you guys about is how to leverage Facebook. So now Facebook was going to be our next way of contacting people. What we want to do is use the ads manager to do a post. The ads manager is much different than boosting your post. Some of you guys who haven't really played around with Facebook and just kind of like mess around with the settings on the page should really go ahead and start looking into their ads manager. Now, if for some reason you guys don't know where to find it, I will show you right now where it could be located. If you go here into your Facebook feed, you'll see there's a down arrow, and you can just go down to where it says manage ads or create ads. Okay, either one will take you to the right place. All right, so once you're there, it's going to take you to something that looks like this. Okay. Now, for the most part, depending on what your objective for that campaign is, you can either direct people to have more traffic to your website, if that's what you want. You can get engagement if you want people to start talking to you about a certain product or a certain house or whatever, or post that you put out. If you want people to install your app and start using your app from conversion, you can do that too. That's an option here. If you want to just have your video to get more views and go viral, this is where you would pick. Or if you simply want leads with phone numbers and email addresses, you can go to lead generation. If you want people to instant message you, you can go to messages and people instant message you. So whatever your objective is for your farm or for the people you're trying to hit, it could be any one of these things. So today, just to give you guys an example, we're going to go with lead generation just to keep it simple. We're going to call it lead generation test. Okay. We're just going to hit continue here. Now, for some of you guys who are using this for the first time, always make sure you go to view terms and you accept their terms. If you don't accept their terms, you will not be able to create this ad. So when it comes to custom audiences, you guys should really be targeting the whole area. So you guys should really go more on area than you should go for like what they're into. Because if you want to be known in that town, leave the custom audiences alone and just use the location. So if I went here and did location, I would just go in here and type in.
Can you do by zip code instead of like an entire town? Like if I just wanted to do like Elmora, for example, like 07202, can I just do a zip code instead?
Good question. I don't think you can do that, but let's try. 07076. Postal code. Yeah, I guess you could do the postal code, but let's see if if you can do. Let's see everyone in this location. Include. We can execute it. It's good. Let's see if we can do scratch. Okay, so we can do Scotch Plains city only. Current city only. We could do that. So let's see if we could do that with zip. So if we wanted to do, let's say Elmora. So code. It doesn't look like you could do just the zip code, or can you? Oh yeah, you can. So now we zoom out. We've got Yep, we've got Elizabeth, 07202, and we've got all of Scotch Plains. So you could, if you just put in the zip code, you can do it.
Okay.
All right, so if I wanted to make this for just Scotch Plains, and I keep all the custom audience specifications open. So I'm not going to put on here, I'm not going to put on here that I want them to be into Zillow or I want them to be into Realtor.com. I'm not going to put any of those things because it's going to limit the people that are going to be seeing it in that town. If I want to be known in that town, I want the whole town to see me. Because if you put down that you want only people that are into Zillow or people that are into Realtor.com, it's going to make your audience too small, and not enough people are going to see you. You want everyone in that town to know you, because even though they may not be looking for a house, they might run into somebody at an office party or a barbecue, and they say they're looking to sell their house, and they would say, look, this person is one of the top agents in Scotch Plains. I see their ads all the time, and maybe you want to check them out or whatever. So that would be a good way for you guys to do this if you're going to do a local ad for one area. So now they get your postcards, they get your Facebook ads. So this is a really good way of doing it. Now, next thing you want to do is you want to make sure that the age group is appropriate for where you're targeting. So you may want to get homeowners that are maybe over the age of, 30 years old. The maximum age probably should stay at 65 and over. That should be okay. Target all men and women. Can you take this call? You might need some help with a lockbox. You might not understand how to use it.
Wait, you're talking to me about?
No, I'm talking to you. You know how to use a lockbox. William doesn't really know. Okay.
Hello.
Okay, so next thing we're going to do is, as we scroll down, we're going to leave this alone where it says placements. You can save the audience too before that if you want to. You're going to leave this alone. It'll be automatic, so just leave that as it is. Next thing we'll do is we're going to just hit next. There's not really other options that you need to mess with down here. You got it set up pretty well. Okay, next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to make a slideshow. This is what converts the best from all the studies that have been done. You want to create a slideshow. So to create a slideshow, you need to pick some props. You need to pick some pictures. So you're going to go here and you're going to create the slideshow. I have some pictures already in the system, so it'll probably let me pick some of the pictures. So if I go to Add Photos, let's just say I like this picture, I want this picture, I want this picture, and I hit Confirm. All right, so now I've got 3 pictures. I want to hit duration 2 seconds each picture, and I want it to fade. That way it goes one picture into the next. I'll go to Create the Slideshow, and then that'll be done. Then next I'll just make a creative text that says, looking to buy or sell real estate, call me today, or something like that. I mean, you guys can be very creative with your ad. You don't have to write what I'm writing right here. I'm just giving you an example. But one thing I will tell you from a lot of people that I've spoken to is that when you're creating an ad, you want the first letter of every word to be capitalized. It just makes it stand out more. Okay? You'd want to also down here where it says headline, you want to give it a headline. It doesn't have to be the same thing that's up there, but I'm just going to copy and paste this to give you guys an idea. News feed. Description is going to be something that's a little bit shorter than what you would put in the text, because this is what it's going to look like on mobile. And then you want to give them here the option to learn more. It's usually what converts the best. Once you've got it on learn more, you're going to go down here where it says create a form. You go to new form. You would go into your questions. Turn off the intro, by the way, because you don't need that. Go into your questions, make sure you get an email, a full name, and you get a phone number. Okay, then here you're going to need a privacy policy. So for those of you who haven't never done this before or who don't have a privacy policy you can grab from your website on conversion. So if you're on your website, which everyone should have, you just go to the bottom of your website, click where it says privacy policy, copy the link, and then we're back and we'll paste it here with the URL, name and privacy policy. And then give them a thank you screen. It's fine. Everything here looks good. Now, I would just, in order to convert a little better, you might want to change up what it says on the text button. And maybe you may want to take them to a different location. So the website link, you may want to put the website for your, the URL for your website. So you just copy that, go back here, paste it on your website link, leave that as a view website or see the, I would make it all caps here. See the top homes in your area, something like that. And then I will go and save this and finish it. Okay, now you got your lead form. Once you've got your lead form, you just go and confirm this. And now you got yourself a Facebook ad. Now, once you have your Facebook ad, guys, you're going to want to check in from time to time because most people, once they get the ad running, they have no idea, no clue that they actually have leads. So once you're on this page, it'll show you all your leads, all your ads you've placed. You're going to want to go here to where it says ads, and you're going to see that you have leads here where it says lead form. I'll show you what that'll look like.
And do you have to put money behind every single ad?
If you don't put any money on the ad, it's not going
It's
to.
not gonna go.
Yeah, it's not going to go.
It doesn't go through?
No.
Okay.
So here you'll see lead forms. You can download the leads. It'll ask you how you want to download it. I picked a CSV.
But it's also, if you don't have Zapier, you can download it manually.
You can download it manually. You'll see them here. Okay, as you can see, all the leads are here with the data I wanted, with the full name, the email, and the phone number. So I can call all these people, email them, do whatever I want with them, put them in my dialer, call them one by one, whatever it is. So very simple to do a Facebook ad once you've got the hang of it. In the beginning, obviously, you'll struggle. You know, I had a hard time with understanding it. I always say that Facebook should be a college course because it really is. It's so complicated and complex, and they're always changing it. So hopefully you guys start using it and understanding it because it is the best platform available out there right now for marketing. So get used to it. Let's see. All right, cool. Next thing I want to talk to you guys about briefly, because I think we're running out of time, is pay-per-click ads on Google Ads. Have you run Google Ads? No.
No, we was gonna do it, but we didn't.
Oh, we didn't get a chance to yet, right? We'll do it next week. We'll do it next week for sure. So Google Ads are probably the second best thing right now. Google Ads were the number one way of marketing for a long, long time. And the reason why is because with Google Ads, you can actually be shown on Google searches for when people are looking for whatever they're looking for. The problem is that space is so congested right now that it's very cost prohibitive to be the first or second person on Google search. So you can target even a better, more, I would say, like you can target a lot closer to the person you're looking for on Facebook. Google's doesn't do that as well as Facebook does, and it does it for less money. So a lot of people are predicting that in the future, Facebook will be just as expensive or more expensive than Google will, because it just offers such better quality of leads that you can get. But on Google Ads, people who still use them, and I think you should give it a shot if you've never used them before, because it does have a place, especially for real estate. Because a lot of people, the first thing they do is they go and they start to search for homes. They look locally. They don't look homes in America. They don't look at homes in New Jersey. They'll say like Elmora Hills, homes for sale, or they'll say Scotts Plains, homes for sale. So if you find out what a good search term is for the location you're in, you can use Google AdWords to buy that phrase, that key phrase, and then buy that and bid it up to whatever price you think would be competitive, and let people see you on what comes up on search, because they're looking for you specifically. They're looking for someone in that area. So the way Google works in our case for real estate, the more local you can get, the better, because it's going to cost less money and it's going to be more available. If you look up, like, if you want to just by the word homes, it's going to be so expensive if you just buy the word homes because it's such a generic term. I'm sure Zillow and probably Realtor.com and God knows Homes.com probably have a monopoly on that word because they'll pay $100 per click probably. Who knows? But we can't do that, obviously, because we'll go broke from some competitors just clicking on our site just to put us out of business on Google. So we're not going to do that. So, normally you're going to be somewhere around like a couple of cents, a click to 25 cents a click to $1 a click, even if it's a really good search term for you. So Google AdWords is not that different from Facebook ads if you've never used it before. I've run a few. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've not run it as many times as I ran Facebook, but I will be doing a separate just Google Ads training, hopefully very soon, because I do want to start doing a little bit more of this for our office to see if we can grow our realtor base a little bit more. So as I learn it, I'll be teaching it to you guys just like I do with everything else. So what did you guys think about the methods of training? Did you learn a couple of things that you think you could start implementing right away? Yeah, give me an example.
Mainly Facebook.
Facebook?
Like I don't know, like 20 years old, so you would assume I know a lot about social media.
Yeah,
Like,
you're born with a computer in your hands?
not at all.
You
Not at all.
haven't run the.
I've run like ads once or twice, but like I didn't get too many results from them because I guess I didn't really.
You didn't stick to the 6 months.
I close to the
No, that's what I
Yeah.
want to
Yeah, Alejandro actually closed two investors out of it. Yeah. Yeah. How much were you spending a day?
The first one I was spending $10.
Uh-huh.
So I forgot, like I got a little busy, and then I forgot about it, and I was going for like 2 weeks. So I spent like $200,
$200.
and then I just
Stop it.
stopped it because I was busy.
You're a busy
with
fellow.
houses.
Yeah, but you made 10 grand, so
Yeah,
that's a good turnaround. Yeah, so I mean, like that's good stuff. I mean, you don't have to like do every single thing that we talk about. Just do a little bit of one thing and see if that works. And if that doesn't work for you, you don't like it, then switch to something else and just keep trying until you find what you like and what you're good at, and just go with that. I mean, marketing is not a perfect science. You understand? It's going to be different for everybody, and it's going to work differently for certain things that you're interested in. Like if you're trying to break into a neighborhood, like you have to do certain things to make sure that they know you. If you're trying to break into a certain type of market, you're going to want to see what works for that. So it's not one size fits all. Hopefully today we gave you guys enough information just to get you started, because we can talk about this for a long time. Eddie, one of our new agents, says that definitely Facebook and Instagram are key. I agree. Actually, just this week, Instagram just unleashed their stories ads. I don't know if you guys know what stories ads are. You see them?
Oh wait, that's new.
Mm-hmm. Because only the influencers on Instagram were allowed to use the story ads before, like a Gary Vaynerchuk or like a Grant Cardone. If you swipe up on the story, it'll take you to their site.
Yeah.
But now anybody could do that. So I'm gonna start playing around with that to see if we can get some.
This guy came to do that class. I was just trying to get it. I was like, nope, you couldn't.
It's only for influencers, but now it's for everyone. So just this week they unleashed that, so that's pretty cool.
Awesome.
We'll see how much that plays a role in getting some business too. You gotta be creative. You gotta be what it is. You should always be the first to something, because it's always the cheapest, and then you can always like build your base around that. Because if you're the last to get there, it's gonna be super expensive.
Crowded
and too crowded. Exactly. So always try it out. See what works for you. Using EDDM, I think, will benefit an agent, especially if you're staging locally, starting locally. Yeah, of course. EDDM is a godsend, because before that, the only other way of really getting data for like a pocket would be by downloading information street by street. So I would have to, for instance, I would have to go into town the tax records and download everyone's information on Main Street. But Main Street might be 5 miles long. Instead of being within a small pocket, I'd have to do all of Main Street, figure out which address stops here, which address stops here, and then look for the street next to Main Street, and then do the same thing there. But great thing for EDDM is that they're already basically giving us all the mail carrier routes, which is incredible. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Anything else you guys want to add? Peter, did you get any yet? How about you, William? 30 minutes there, 30 minutes back, right? There's a lot of traffic.
No, not really.
Not bad?
No.
Oh, good. What'd you
I
learn?
was really impressed.
What'd you learn?
From that,
Yeah.
Well, I learned about the EDDM, about the routes. I learned about the Facebook. I was gonna say that if you use a lot of the Facebook ads, then you can retarget those people with the pixels.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Good. You brought up a good point.
Yeah.
So I have we all have a website here. Everybody here has a website with conversion, right? Everybody has their own website. So what you can do is when you're sending people to your website with Facebook, Facebook has a pixel that what it does is basically it tracks people around the internet. It drops cookies on them, and then you also can keep track of who's visiting your site. So you can retarget those people, like William said, very easily. So if there's people who have been interested, visited your site, but have never called you or bought anything from you, you can do a post later on just with your pixel data and hit those people specifically saying, hey, are you looking to buy a house? Or look, there's a new program that will save you $10,000 on your closing costs, or get your loan now before rates go up to 5%. It's like whatever it is. But if you haven't activated your pixel, I know a lot of you guys have probably never even heard the term. Go ahead on there, and next time you run an ad, it'll say activate your pixel. You can click yes, activate the pixel, but you're going to have to get that pixel code from conversion. So you have to reach out to conversion and get them to give you the pixel code for your website. Okay? Or then you guys will be good to go. Any other questions, guys?
And what does the pixel code do for you?
So the pixel code is like think of it as like a,
Everyone is different.
yeah. So think of a pixel code as kind of like a detective that follows people around the internet, right? So if they visited your site, they'll get tracked. So what the pixel does is it drops like a tracking device on that person's IP. So it'll track them anywhere and everything they do on the internet. So after they go to your site, if they start looking at like, distressed homes at another website, or if they start looking at different things, the pixel will know. But better than that, what the pixel does is it keeps track of who visits your site. So if later on you want to target just people who had an interest in real estate because they visited your site, you can just retarget 200 or 300 people as opposed to marketing out to thousands of people who half of them you can click on your ad. So it's a more cost friendly way of
So
marketing.
when you say visit, does that mean as opposed to, putting in their contact information, if they just click on the site? Or...
Yeah, so for instance, let me give an example. Let's just say you had a link on a post that you had on Facebook. And if people visit your site from Facebook, the pixel that you have will track those people that are going to your site.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I have like 5,000 impressions or whatever, but only, so many, clicks or whatever.
Sure.
So if I had information on who the 5,000 are,
You can retarget them.
right.
Yeah, a lot of people make their money on this. A lot of marketing agencies make their money on this. It's called ClickFunnels. So what happens is like you want in the beginning everyone to click on your ad. Everyone, click, right? But then there's only going to be certain people who are going to actually visit your site. Certain people that are actually going to buy from your site. So what ClickFunnels do is that it targets people down. So okay, well there was 1,000 people who might have been interested. 500 of them clicked on your website and went there, and only a few of them went to your shopping cart but never bought anything. So let's retarget the people who actually went to the part that looked like they were going to buy but didn't buy.
Right.
So it's a lot more cost effective on targeting people who are in the place to buy from you or the market to buy. So that's the way it would work. So it just saves you money along the way if you could refine people down. All right. Also, with the leads you have, you can upload that list. Let's just say the leads you got from Hudson County.
Right.
You can upload that list to Facebook and tell Facebook to market ads just to that list, just to those people. So you can do that too.
Okay.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. I don't know if anyone has any more questions. Let's see if we have any. Lauren, thank you for joining us, sweetie. I think that was it, right? We got other people. Sophie's watching us.
Yeah. Always watching.
Yeah.
Cool. If I was Carlos, I would not be on Facebook right now. If I was in Seattle, I'd be definitely out. Would not be watching Facebook. All right. Thank you, everyone, for watching, and enjoy your weekend, everyone.
Sleepless in Seattle, no?
Sleepless in Seattle. I don't know. What they've been eating good. Have you seen what these guys have been eating?
No.
Oh my God, they put on like 50 pounds back.
You're telling me food there is just expensive.
I
Like,
can imagine. It's
Yeah, everything's
All right, guys. Lesson learned today. Don't go to Seattle if you're on a budget. Take it easy, guys. Have a great weekend. Bye bye.
I guess that was